Hello, everyone. Just 1 minute of your attention, please. We are about to start, so if you can get to your seats, that would be great. Okay, as usual, we have that initial awkward silence before we start. But just trying to keep the schedule going. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mtme Next. Before we start, we'd like to respectfully acknowledge that UNB stands on the unsurrendered and unceded traditional Wolastoqey land. The lands of the Wabanaki people are recognized in a series of peace and friendship treaties to establish an ongoing relationship of peace, friendship, and mutual respect between equal nations. The river that connects our two campuses is known as the Wolastoq, along which live the Wolastoqey, the people of the beautiful and bountiful river. Wolastoq is also called the St. John River. Distinguished guests, esteemed judges, and dear students, welcome to Mtme Next, an event celebrating the culmination of hard work, creativity, and entrepreneurial spirit. Today, we gather here to witness the launch of 6 new companies as our Mtme students present their innovative ideas. It's my pleasure to be here for this exciting event, and I'm just going to go off script for 1 second here to address the students and just let you know, please enjoy this moment. I'm sure you're going to look back at it and be super proud of yourself, so try to enjoy it. I know you're probably a little anxious. That just means you care. At least that's my perspective here, okay? Now I'd like to invite Dr. Dhirendra Shukla to the stage, or not really a stage, but here, for his opening remarks on behalf of the J. Herbert Smith Center.
Many of you know I'm Dhirendra Shukla. I've just come off sabbatical, so I've actually had nothing to do for a year connected to the center. So want to really acknowledge all the hard work everyone at the center has done. Incredible people, incredible human beings that go out of their way every single day so that we can be there to support the students, support the community. And, never thought that it took us 4 years of fighting internally within UNB, then the region, to really create the Mtme program. And there were many times that I thought, is it worth it? And I look at this room and I say, what a beautiful journey it's been for me. And I've been blessed to be working with amazing people every day, every night. And seeing the students, their energy, their passion, their commitment, and sheer intelligence to do what they're doing. They've really put themselves out there. They had other options, other opportunities, other ways to define their journey. But taking that risk to come to an amazing place like Fredericton, to New Brunswick, and we have a community of people from all over the world that we are very fortunate to call our family. Because one thing is for sure, once you're part of the family of this program, you graduate, you never really ever leave. You are part of it, and we are honored and blessed to have you as a part of our family. And thank you, and really do amazing things post this day, and keep us informed. We are there for you as you do and achieve amazing things. We're your champions, and note that when you are struggling, we're there for you and to support you in anything and everything you need from us. So thank you and have a phenomenal presentation. Handing it over to the rock star Dominic Blakely. I try and time it, so anytime I see that he was distracted, that's the time I thought it was appropriate to invite him. Thanks, Dom.
So thank you very much. This is actually my last official function as the acting chair, so I'm kind of happy about this. I get to step away from it. Dhirendra, thank you so much for being back. I just wanted to take just a few seconds to talk about this event and the students here. I want to thank you. When we talked about it last night, we had a little social event where we all sort of got together and sort of celebrated what the students have done. And when you think on it, what they have to do from September until now of last year, never met each other before in most cases, come together and actually create companies with people they don't know. So they don't know their experience, they don't know their backgrounds, they don't know their capabilities. They search out problems that they want to identify and potentially solve and develop a solution in a really quick time frame. It's kind of weird. Usually when entrepreneurs go about it, they are working with people they know, that they understand their capabilities, that they're defining and developing their own team. They get to go outside and get to pick the people they work with. So it makes it even more remarkable that in this short period of time, here you are about ready to launch your companies. Some of you will still be building and have been building for a little while and have known each other for a little while. But I just wanted to acknowledge how appreciative we are with the efforts that you've put in to get you here today. On behalf of everybody at the J. Herbert Smith Center, I want to thank you so much for the hard work you put in and putting up with Igor and I for the last year. So thank you so very much. I also want to welcome Dhirendra back. We can't do this without him. Thank you, Dhirendra, for coming back and being here with us today. So today, I do actually have some official notes, so I will get to them now, I promise. Today, our aspiring entrepreneurs will present their ideas through compelling pitches, accompanied by captivating prototypes showcased in videos. They've been working on their ventures since last September, and I want to congratulate them all for their, I already said that. The Master of Technology and Management and Entrepreneurship is a very unique and intensive program. Students work on their ideas for a whole year. It's not easy, but you have all done it. And actually, I wanted to point out that what's even more interesting, so Dhirendra talked about family. You look around, there's actually alumni in the room who have come to see the next group of Mtme coming back here, and even some people who have been here quite a while ago. So I look at Kumran and I look at MJ, who have been here, and there's Amy. You know, everybody is coming back to celebrate the efforts that the students have done. So now I actually do have one official function, which is to introduce our esteemed judges, and I'm going to start directly here in front of me. We have Duncan McCormick from Royal Bank of Canada. Thank you so much, Duncan, for joining us today. Mark Savoy, who is the executive in residence at East Valley Ventures. We have Nkiru Ogbu, who is an Mtme alumna. Welcome back, Nkiru. And we have Dr. Riel Miller, who is working with us on futures literacy. And thank you very much for joining us from Paris. I truly appreciate that. Before I introduce the first team, I want to just go over a few housekeeping rules. So each team will have 5 minutes and 30 seconds for their pitch presentation, followed by a 3-minute prototype video. After that, there will be Q&A from the judges, where they'll dive deeper into the core of these innovative concepts and challenge the participants through encouraging their growth. Thank you all again for joining us today. I'm about to call the first group up, but it's Mtme, and I'll ask you to start making your way on the stage. Mtme is a group of 4 students. 3 of them are here today. I wanted to give a shout out to the cameras. Semiko Zanu is their 4th person in the group. He underwent surgery Tuesday and is recovering in St. John. When he woke up, first thing he said to his wife is, "Oh my goodness, I've got Mtme next," of which she said, "You can't walk, so you probably aren't going to be going back to Fredericton for that." So Sam, I know you're here in spirit. Thanks so much. And Igor has your clicker. I saw you get panicked there for a second.
Thank you very much for being here today. This is Mtme, and we're going to talk about water management system. Now, water is sorry, my voice. Water is an essential part of our daily lives. Majority of households in developed nations don't understand how this critical resource gets to their homes or even have interaction with their water resources. I mean, you turn your tap and you have unlimited water supply. Well, in developing nation, that's not necessarily the case. I mean, using Nigeria as a case study, 43 million households depend on a legacy borehole system that has a manual-driven process to it. Now, this manual process is fraught with a lot of challenges. There's a lot of waste, inefficiency, and more importantly, there's debt. I mean, in the last 3 years alone, 269 people have died trying to operate the system. Now, what's the solution? At Mtme, we've developed a smart water management system that incorporates or integrates into this existing infrastructure, thereby eliminating the need for manual or physical interaction. Now, this system promises to be cost-effective, easy to install, and compatible. Added to that, we are giving our users control, convenience, and conservation. Now, let me walk you through how the system works. Typically, you have your underground water source. Then you have, oftentimes, about 2,000 feet below ground. Then you have your submersible pump that drives water into your ground tank. Now, from that, you have your a pump that then drives water into your overhead tank. Now, this is a manual system, and it's a legacy system that's been in existence for decades. Now, what are we doing at Mtme? What we are doing is to automate this entire water-driven system. Now, all you need to do once you have our product is to install our water level sensing, our sensing module, and our feedback and control unit. Now, this unit is working together to automate the entire water delivery system, thereby eliminating the need for human or manual interaction.
The business of water management is, in fact, a viable one, with total available market valued at $15.6 billion globally, and the serviceable addressable market valued at $5.2 billion, representing the share of Middle East and Africa. And we at Mtme, we are looking at serviceable obtainable markets of $16 million, which represents the share of the Nigerian market that we want to serve. While there are users in other segments of the industry, like the industrial sector and the commercial segment, at Mtme, we focus at addressing the pain point for users within the residential segment. Now, this residential segment constitutes the largest share of this market, about 40%, and is projected to grow at a compounding annual growth rate of 14% over the next 10 years. The main source of our revenue is from the sales of our devices, which is priced at $75 per unit. In the second year of our operation, we would actually be monetizing our water usage statistics as well. We also offer even support services in terms of consultancy services and maintenance services to our customers. And with these streams of our revenue, we project that our revenue is going to grow in a trajectory manner, and we're going to break even in the 2.5 years of our operation. And our fixed costs actually consist mainly of our production costs, the cost of our raw materials, and the direct labor cost. Moving on to the competitive landscape, Mtme differ from existing competitors with our dynamic water routing capability and the ease of integrating our solution into the existing infrastructure. And despite other competitors, ABB, Avova, and SUSE, offering one or two other features similar to ours, we are the only business that offer all the features as a single package. To our strategic roadmap, we have completed the development of the first 2 versions of our prototype, and by January 2025, we'll plan to develop a better version of our prototype, after which we'll be ready to launch a limited version in April 2025, and by July 2025, we'll be ready to launch the full version of our product. The team behind this solution, they are a very passionate team who wants to solve this problem for the Nigerian market. We come with over 25 years of experience cutting across system designs and development, product management, project management, operations management, quality management, and leadership. Within our team, Adebayo is our CTO, Olumide is our Chief Product Officer, Sam is our CEO, my name is Shade, and I'm the CEO of Mtme. Our ask at this point, considering we are new to the entrepreneurship business, we ask for advice in order for us to be able to run a successful business. We equally ask for connection with key stakeholders in the industry, both globally and within Africa, and for other relevant organizations that are aligned with our missions and our region. We are Mtme. We ask that you join us in transforming the way water is managed across Africa. Thank you.
This is a story of Ahmed. Ahmed is a landlord. He gets a call from his tenant that they have run out of water in the house. Ahmed comes down from his unit and goes to switch on the overhead tank's pump. He has no idea how long the water will take to fill up, so he continues with other activities in the house. After a while, Ahmed hears the water tank overflowing and prompts him to go back down to turn off the pump. When he gets down, he sees his living space flooded with water. Unfortunately for Ahmed, at the lower end of the tank is the switch to the pump that has to be turned off. Overwhelmed by what he sees, he ponders for a bit, thinking about all the hazard this situation portends. At Mtme, we have risen to meet these challenges. We have developed a smart water management system that addresses water delivery problems head-on. A typical water delivery system has water tanks situated atop a metal tower, where the elevation helps utilize gravity to generate water pressure and allow the water to flow into the house. The water storage tanks on the ground act as a reservoir from which the water is pumped from the well or borehole. At the core of our smart water management system lies the float sensor, which detects changes in water level variation. This unit integrates a magnetic field sensing technology encased in epoxy resin. The water level sensor module employs a 16-bit microprocessor for data handling and transmits the data via the HC12 at a frequency of 433 MHz with a range of up to 1 kilometer. The feedback and control unit receives data from the water level sensor module and performs critical functions to regulate the water management system. It uses an onboard data handling and control processor, along with 2 RZ3 fast-switching, high-power relays and LED technology for fault and action indication. These components together form the Mtme Smart Water Management System, which fully automates Ahmed's water delivery system, providing Ahmed and his tenants with peace of mind.
All right, now we have 9 minutes for Q&A. So I'm going to start with Duncan here, and then we just keep going.
Thank you. Excellent presentation. I had a couple questions I wrote down while you were presenting. When you discussed your competitors, You kind of highlighted that you're the only one that has the complete package. Everybody else is offering bits and pieces. Why do you think that is? Why are they not doing that?
Well, based on our market research, we've kind of like, we identified that there aren't a lot of competitors, especially in Africa. Now, not to sound, I don't know, a lot of companies don't really look at Africa as like a big, large market and all of those, right? So it takes Africans to kind of like develop Africa. So it's like they've not really paid attention to that market. So now the thing is, though, is like there are companies that have individual sort of like components that you could install into this sort of like infrastructure, but they are very expensive. I mean, we got a feedback from one of our mentors, and he told us it cost about $5,000 to just kind of like overhaul his whole sort of like water delivery system. And so in Africa, we are looking at a market that is it's growing and it's quite, versatile, but a lot of big companies don't really look at that market. So what we are doing is we are positioning ourselves to be the sort of like go-to guys when it comes to water management systems in Africa.
And do you think it'd be challenging for them to adjust their strategy to compete more directly with you?
They would eventually. I mean, when they realize the potentials in that market, obviously they're going to kind of like pivot. But our strategy is to get in, get fast, get into the market, hit the ground running, and sort of like dominate essentially.
Okay. In addition to that, we're focusing on the household residentials, which the big companies don't at the moment. So positioning ourselves actually gives us an opportunity to service those markets.
And so the second question kind of ties into that. You mentioned having to get in there relatively quickly and sort of dominate the market. What challenges are you going to face producing this at scale, if any?
Manufacturing, well, from our sort of like data and research, to manufacture this is about the COGS is about $24-$25. And the sort of retail price we're looking at is $75. So if we can get enough sort of like capital to kind of go into the market, I think we could easily kind of like get into that and mass produce probably a couple of thousands of units. So so our strategy really is, like I said earlier, is to kind of get into the market, get in real quick, do our sort of feasibility studies and stuff. And I mean, like I said, we are the only ones doing this. The whole package, we are the only ones kind of offering this whole package for that price. So yeah, like we're good to go.
And any certification or licensing that you would require that you?
So typically there is a standard organization of Nigeria. They kind of look at your products and sort of like give you sort of certifications and stuff. Because we don't have competitors per se, we can actually be the guys to set the sort of policies, if you like, as to what they should be looking out for. So the good thing about emerging markets is that they've not really figured out what they want to do with their policies and programs. So you could actually go in there and you could sort of like take advantage. So we are taking advantage, and of course we have government sort of like network as well that can help us sort of get this product into market.
Very good. Thank you. Great presentation.
Thanks, Duncan. Kiro?
Okay, thank you for your presentation. It's very relatable. I want to ask, with the rate of inflation and non-regulatory bodies in Nigeria that are not functional, how do you intend to keep that price, $75, and encourage landlords to buy into it?
That's a very good point. I mean, in the last, 1 or 2 years, inflation has gone up by, about 100%. No, it helps. So yeah, I totally understand that. But the thing is that, ironically, right, the purchasing price actually goes up as well. It's like once you increase inflation, once things kind of go up, people tend to sort of still meet up to that price. So $75 is actually quite sort of, it's really affordable. So I think it's easy for us to sell at that cap of $75. In actual fact, I think we could even go more than, we could increase the price more than that. But we just want to be sort of cautious as to, the starting price and all of that. So, yeah.
In addition to that, we will plan to actually do the production locally, so it will actually reduce the prices of things. Thank you.
Thanks, Nkiru. Mark?
Yeah, you guys have set the standard. Like this was awesome. Very good job. A technical question around the power requirements and how would the installation happen, and is there a power requirement? I saw a hint of a solar panel there.
Yeah. Typically, for the sort of setup that we have, the configuration that is obtainable at the moment is like, you need a solar power panel and stuff. So, as regards to this power setup, the feedback and control unit is going to be connected to the power source, the mains. Now, the sensing module is going to be on, the tank. So, we've kind of we've done our research, we've done our analysis, designs, and everything. So, we have enough sort of power in terms of battery packs and all that to meet about 26 hours or thereabout of battery life before it starts to recharge. So, we've kind of figured out what we need to do as regards to power and efficiency and what have you. I don't know if that.
Yeah, that's good. And your go-to-market, do you plan on going direct with a website or something, a local partner?
Yeah. We have a slide on that actually. So our plan actually is to go into partnerships with some existing real estate developers. Right, so we've identified a couple of them. I think we've identified like 56 of them, right? So we'll go into a partnership with them. So for those that are developing new estates, so they will integrate our solution into the new estate, right? So for the existing estates also, we've identified about 150 residential estates within Lagos, right, that we want to start with. So we'll be engaging with their ESCOs and for their buying, an endorsement into our solution. Right, so that's just one of it. Also, we'll be having retail outlets in form of having some retailers to sell our products within their stores, and also in online stores as well. Right, so we have known stores in online stores in Nigeria, Jumia. So we'll be placing our devices also on the online stores. Also, we'll be doing digital marketing as well. Right, and we'll be putting in place YouTube ads to get our products visible to users online.
Then, added to that as well, we're looking at government because they're the biggest purchaser of, sort of things that have a social impact. So we're, like I said earlier, we kind of have like network with government to sort of like buy into this as well. I mean, it's easy for government to buy 100,000 units, for example, probably more than that, sort of like in a single transaction. So we are looking at working with government to buy into these products, and it's a big revenue generation for us.
All right, thank you.
I'll join the crowd in saying, well done. Excellent presentation. I have two questions. One is related to, just a very banal thing, how much does it cost to install? Because it's not just the price of buying the product, but you have to install it, right? And do you have the expertise? Can you depend on having somebody in the field who will actually be able to install it correctly?
So one of our strategies is to have a video probably online, or a sort of like a barcode or something that you can scan and get a video of how to install it. So it's pretty sort of straightforward. Yeah. Just essentially just follow the video, or read the manual or something like that. So and there is no extra cost per se, because homeowners can actually install this themselves. pretty simple, straightforward.
So yeah, you're depending on their ability to do it themselves.
Yeah, so that's actually one of the key, features that we bring to our customers, for them to be able to self-install it just by watching the video.
So you designed it so that it would be
easy
to install.
Yes.
My second question then is kind of related to potential other uses, which is in the water supply, the question of pressure, how much water is available, and also quality of water. Since you're filtering, since you have measuring and sensors, have you thought about water quality and water supply related monitoring or not?
So our strategic roadmap is that we're going to have a couple of products going forward.
Yeah.
Now we've talked about filtering and what have you, but we've not really kind of gone into that at the moment. I mean, it's really, we have to spend a lot of money on R&D and stuff like that just to kind of get the right filtration system.
Because I saw that you had sensors in different stages in the thing, and there's different pressure. So, for instance, when the water supply declines, there might be a signal that it's there's less water, so that the user can know that they've got water supply problems. For instance, that could be something related to.
Yes, so the immediate need is to install this. Then on the roadmap, we plan to put all those things in place.
Now, the installation, if you look at the video, right, you could actually set the pressure level or the minimum sort of like water in your tank just by, just by varying the sort of depth.
Right.
So, in a way, you could actually increase the pressure just by, just varying the depth. I mean, obviously, the more volume
what's
you have,
on top,
the more sort of like... Exactly.
I'm thinking more what's below.
Exactly. So in terms of pressure, that's pretty, straightforward. But filtration is another ballgame entirely. But no, exactly.
But congratulations on this product.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Omimedic. We're going to give the judges 1 minute to wrap up the rubrics there. And next up, we have Gardy. So you can come to the front, get ready. You move up to turn it on. So yeah, just move up to turn it on. Just leave it in the middle.
Good morning, everyone. We are Gardy, your healthcare ally. In Canada, during an emergency, patients are taken to the hospital and the treatments commence immediately. Then paperwork are done afterwards. However, it is not so in developing countries. In Nigeria, when there's an accident, sympathizers need to take these victims to the hospital. And when you get to the hospital, you need to, first of all, do registration and make payments. Now, sometimes you don't have money on you when these accidents happens, and the hospitals will not attend to you. It has led to death. At least 1.2 million of these deaths in Nigeria, and then 54% of these deaths can be avoided. At Gardy, we introduced an electronic card system whereby in an accident, you get to the hospital, present the card, it is scanned, and then treatment commences it is linked to centralized database of all participating hospitals if you're a registered member. And it is secured. The login authentications are well organized. And then how do they come about the software? We run it through the Django platform. It handles both the back end and the front end, including the running on Python codes, and the server is inbuilt on the Django platform. Our value proposition is quicker access to emergency health care, and for the hospitals, your funds are guaranteed. And then our roadmap, as it is, we have a functional system whereby victims' data are already among the participating hospitals that we have on our system. And then by August 2025, we'll be implementing a more robust security features to protect user data. And then we'll also be implementing our payment processor. Thank you.
Our target market of families, Nigeria has over 220 million people as residents in Nigeria. So our target market, families, small and medium scale enterprises. We have a very robust total addressable market of $3.7 billion US dollars. This represents the global market. Our total, our serviceable available market stands at 500 million. This is for our geographical region where we're hoping to address. Then for our serviceable obtainable market, we're looking at 370 million. This is the portion that we wish to capture, that we feel we can get our monies from. Our major competition is the NHIS. The difference between us and NHIS is the Gardi card, our electronic card. We also have the emergency access. Those are our two major differences. We have all the other ones, but they don't have this. Now, our focus is on individuals and small and medium-scale enterprises, while the NHIS focuses on government parastatals and on large corporates. Our subscription fee is just a mega $5 a month. The whole idea is for the families to afford being able to enter this program with us. It's going to be $5 monthly. We are expecting that we'll make our money through that because of the number we have. The minimum requirement will be to register with a $500 plan. Now, the patients are expected or can actually increase their funds in their prepaid accounts. It doesn't matter how much you want to do it, but you can actually increase your funds to the level that you want to do it. When we did our financials, we realized that we'll break even in the second year. We're also hoping that we run it on an assumption of getting the first 5,000 people in the first year and subsequent 5,000 for second year and third year. And looking at it, we believe that because of the volume or the number of people in Nigeria, we will be able to make our marks. Behind the team doing this product is Kingsley. Kingsley is the CEO and the Chief Technology Officer. And I am Doris, the Chief Marketing Officer, and between the two of us, we have over 20 years experience. Kingsley has an IT background and has also pharmaceutical operations background. He's an entrepreneur with various experiences. While myself, Doris, I have over 15 years in the retail marketing industry and banking and finance, and also the business development area. Our ask today, we want to develop this card so that the normal everyday person in Nigeria doesn't suffer during an emergency. So we're asking for $350,000 US. We're asking for partnership. We're asking for guidance. to spend this money, we realized that a major part of the money will be spent for marketing because we're a new company, we're entering the market, and then administrative and salaries. We are Gardi, your healthcare ally. Thank you.
In Canada, the healthcare system prioritizes immediate treatment for victims of medical emergencies, ensuring they receive medical attention without delay. Paperworks are handled afterwards. However, it is not the same in Africa. In Nigeria, during a medical emergency or an accident as seen in this video, mostly, sympathizers take victims to the hospital. At the hospital, victims or sympathizers must fill out a registration form with basic medical details and are required to make an upfront payment. The unavailability of victims' funds or anyone to make upfront payment implies refused treatment, which leads to complications and sometimes loss of life. At Gardi, we address this pain points by introducing an emergency health card that links to a centralized database of registered patients among participating hospitals. It is secure, real-time with patient update mechanism. Several technologies were employed to build Gardi's web portal. At the back end, the system utilizes the Django framework, leveraging high-level Python codes for seamless database interactions with SQLite. For the front end, it employs CSS scripts along with Django templating engine to create a dynamic and responsive interface, media handling, form validation, MRN, and barcode generation. Let's show you how it works. Gardi has two end users, the hospital and the patient. Our software will be installed on the participating hospital front desk computer. Hospital onboarding and admin sign-up is seamless. Patients can register at the hospital. Let's look at this scenario. Kingsley, a patient during his regular checkup, at a participating hospital, witnessed a death due to delays in registration and payment. Discussing the incident with his doctor, he learned about Gardi, a new card designed to prevent such issues. He decides to subscribe to Gardi's $500 plan. The card is auto-generated from the back end, which can be printed. The card contains the patient's basic medical data, unique medical record number, emergency contact, unique barcode, and photo for identification. In an emergency, the hospital admin scans Kingsley's card for authenticity, which displays his profile photo for verification, his medical history, and subscription status. Once confirmed, treatment begins. After treatment, the medical bill is generated and sent to Gardi for prompt payment. With this technology, Kingsley's medical record is accessed immediately during an emergency, reducing wait times and administrative hassles. Healthcare providers are aided to make informed treatment decisions, avoid medical complications, reduce mortality, and ensure that the hospital receive their payment promptly after treating Kingsley. We are Gardi, your healthcare ally.
All right, let's proceed to Q&A. May I suggest one question at a time, and then if we have time, we do a second round, please. So let's start with Rialno.
Yes, thank you very much. Very good presentation, well done. Appreciated it. It strikes me that this is actually a form of insurance. Have you considered the extent to which it's connected to an insurance approach to your healthcare issues?
No, it's actually a prepaid card. You can actually get back your money if you request for the money. So it's not insurance.
And so, which leads me then to the question of what happens to the money that you deposited?
Yes, it's deposited in the bank.
Yeah, but who gets the use of that money? Who can play with the float?
No, we don't touch the money. The money is actually there for your emergency. Now, depending on how much it is, if you have an emergency, how much you utilize from the money, it reduces the money. If you require to stop doing this thing with us, then you can actually get back your money.
Thank you.
Mark?
To add further to it, in Nigeria, most people are really adverse to insurance. They don't trust insurance. If you make your product look like an insurance product. They believe when they insure something and they pay the money is gone. But if they have the assurance that their money is there, it's their money, they can actually buy into the product and they will have it at the time of emergency.
Thank you.
Just along those lines, good job presenting.
Thank you.
I'm getting an education on the Nigerian healthcare system. That's awesome. Would $500 be a typical float that would be provided, and kind of the affordability of that? It just seems like a lot of cash sitting, kind of just waiting for an emergency.
Okay, so the truth is that in time of emergency, you never really know what the emergency is going to be, right? So you need to have something that can cover that emergency. If the money you have there does not cover the emergency, then we have not achieved what we wanted to achieve. So $500 may seem like a lot, but it can actually save somebody's life. Now, the hospitals, on the other hand, also, we need to give them, the assurance that, look, if you need to do a surgery during an emergency, that the money can actually, I know 500 is not up to the money for a surgery, but it's an emergency fund. So at the point of emergency, you're taken care of, and then your family or your next of kin can take care of the rest of the medications. Yes.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Just one follow-up. I love the idea of going to small and medium business enterprise. It looks like that's an underserved market, so
Yes, it is.
And a good aggregation point.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Thank you.
Okay, once again, it's very relatable, and I worked as a NHIS data management officer for 8 years. So why do you think partnering with NHIS, or do you think partnering with NHIS is better than standing alone, because the government is going to kick against this because of NHIS? What do you think you could do in that situation if you try to break into the market and things like this come up?
So in the past, NHIS has lost its credibility where people are, because when people have an emergency, NHIS has not been able to meet up with that emergency. So partnering with them might put us in the same position as NHIS. So we would rather go private, meet the individuals that value their lives and want it, to take care of themselves, because NHIS doesn't pay, they're not able to pay the hospitals. Now, the hospital does the job and they get money in 6 months' time, and they stopped. The amount of medication or the quality of medication that ought to be given to a victim is looked down upon, because NHIS dictates the amount of money attached to the drug that must be given to an accident victim. So partnering with NHIS is not part of what we want to do, because NHIS will kill our product because of the way they have run it in the past.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Duncan?
Once again, great presentation. Have you received any feedback? Because it seems like you have a bit of a two-sided market. So have you received feedback from the hospitals themselves and from actual users that might have this technology on their
Yes, we have.
possession?
During our primary research, we sent out questionnaires, and 98% of those questionnaires said yes, they're going to subscribe to this service. And then when we sent to doctors and hospital owners, about 85% of them said yes, they are going to participate in it. Already, although 15% among them are already NHIS, and they said they will look into it if they're going to subscribe to our service. But 85% of our questionnaires, they all answered that yes, they want their hospital to be part of the participating hospital, that they love the idea, because for NHIS, after treatment, sometimes it takes about minimum of 6 months, a maximum of 1 year before government transfers that money to you. And imagine the effect it will have on your company. So they say, provided we're going to get our money promptly, they have no problem with it.
And you think you'll be able to deliver on that, to have it
Of course, just as my partner said, we are not making use of that money. It's been saved in a bank. Once they send their bill to us, we just make the transfer, and that is it. Because that is the essence of the business.
Thank you.
Okay.
We do have time for one more. If I'm good.
So what if the money is deposited in a bank? How do you make your profit?
Okay, so for the profit, from our slide, we have this maintenance fee that they pay of $5. So that's where we get our money. So if you have like 10,000 persons paying $5 every month as maintenance fee or being in the program, that's so much, that's huge.
Can I just follow up on that point though? So let's imagine that there are 10,000 people depositing $5 a month. That's a nice revenue flow. But why not pool that and then just pay out for people who get in trouble from that pool? In other words, you might not call it insurance because people don't like insurance, but rather than putting $500 per person in some sort of locked-in account, which doesn't do anything except make money for the bank, why not use the revenue flow on a $5 a month payment basis for 10,000 people as a way to guarantee payment to the hospital? That version doesn't work?
Actually, we talked about it, and we told ourselves that will be us giving back to the community. Because if we put it as part of what the product is all about, we will be overwhelmed.
Yes, because you might have a scenario where maybe the cost is about $10,000 for a surgery, and then we're using all of our revenue to do so. So it's not obtainable.
All right, thank you. We don't have time for additional questions. Thank you. And now let's give the judges some time to complete the rubrics. Okay, the presenter notes? So you can just replicate.
Yeah, we can do that. I just want to make sure the next team knows.
Yeah.
They had a few notes on their slides.
Do you need your notes from the slides, or do you need your notes, or? Can they just be mirrored, so you know what slide you're in, or do you need the notes?
I don't need the notes.
Okay, yeah, because there's a little technical issue, but I'm sure you know all your presentation. Yeah.
But I can see the slide there.
Yes. It's gonna be the same that's on the screen. If you move up, it's gonna turn on. Just wait for my signal before you start, okay? There. Yeah. All done? All good? All right. So next up, we have Zapek.
Good morning, everyone. Nearly 80% of marketers use live events such as trade shows to promote their businesses. And over 50% of the event managers struggle to increase the attendance, and thereby it impacts their return of investment. So as business owners, you guys would have organized events. The problems is widespread in all the stages of the event planning, right with the pre-event. Getting the right audience for the event is highly important because they are going to be your potential customers. If you don't get the right audience for the event, you will not have a lead conversion at the end. And during the event, there are hundreds and thousands of participants that come in, and maybe in hundreds of exhibitors they are. And tracking each and everyone's engagement is pretty much crucial, and it's a difficult problem to solve. And with all these, the post-event where the lead conversion happens, the data that have been gathered are all scattered everywhere. It's not properly organized, and that impacts the lead process. And you will not be able to get more customers. Right? Zappec is an event management platform with advanced analytics and AI that will revolutionize the lead generation process in live events. Our solution is threefold, addressing all the stages of the event. During pre-event, we gather the actionable data from digital marketing channels. So where the posts and comments that we receive from the different users are being analyzed to identify who would be the best and potential users, attendees for our events, right? And during the event, we track the engagement and collect the feedback using a computer vision model and the feedback which is integrated with our AI that understand the data that we collect through the voice inputs. And finally, with all the combined information that we have gathered in the stages, we will provide the data in our platform as a dashboard, and we score and give a comprehensive metrics. Our value proposition is simple. We have efficient attendee traction through our digital media integration and analysis, and we measure the attendee engagement through our cloud analysis channel, which is a platform, and which is integrated with AI. And finally, we facilitate the lead identification and scoring mechanism. Our customers are primarily the event managers who plan major events within the corporates or even individual planners. And we focus on three main events mainly: trade shows and expos, corporate events, and also education institution where they have education fairs and so on. The market size for event management platform itself huge, like with a total addressable market of $7 billion US dollars. In terms of the region, in North America alone, it scales down to $2 billion US dollars. And our target market is a B2B trade shows and a niche segment over here, and we are our obtainable market will scale down to $2 million US dollars. If you see the competition, there are key market players in the industry like Cvent, OHA, Eventbrite is a very good ticketing platform. But what they offer is the service are scattered or they are already saturated. And also, our focus is mostly on the analytics part, and especially on the crowd analysis and the feedback system. This is our unique selling point that no one else offering in the market so far. This is a pricing strategy. So where we start with a basic pricing of $500 per annum, and that is scaled up to the 10 events and for 100 attendees. And as the attendee number increases, there will be a commission-based increase in the price as well. And all our offerings in terms of analytics and the data that goes with our premium pricing model that will be capped at $2,000 US dollars. And with the consulting-based, we also provide consulting that will be charged at a $5,000 cap. Okay. This is a conservative financial forecast for the next 5 years. So where we can see like after third year, we will be reaching our break-even point. And we can confidently see ourselves making a revenue of $1.5 million in next 5 years. This is a roadmap. Right now, we have already completed the front-end application where we have all the event management planning. By end of December, the digital media integration will be fully completed, and planning for live release on June 2025, where we'll have all the data and access-related modules being built in. And by December 2025, we will be bringing in all the crowd analysis into it. Myself, Santosh. I am the CEO and CTO of Zappec. I have 14 years of experience in consulting and have managed projects across Asia. And I'm right now working with the mentors who are specialized in this area and who are helping me on the project. Zappec is the pathway to truly connect business with customers through advanced analytics and actionable insights. Today, I'm right in front of you, asking for an investment of 500,000 Canadian dollars for a runway for 3 years and your network to build my business. Thank you.
Meet Kate, an event manager who organizes trade shows and expos across Atlantic Canada. Kate faces challenges attracting right attendees and measuring the event performance. She is our lead customer and uses Zapek for her upcoming events. Kate logs into the platform and sees the key metrics for ongoing events. She can view all her events planned for the whole year. The next event for her is the Fredericton Creative Expo. Once she enters the event, Kate can see the end-to-end workflow with the current status. She can record event details, design the registration form, manage agenda and session across multiple days, capture all exhibitor details along with their products and service offerings. Finally, she can preview the event and publish it for registration. Once the event is published, Kate can actively monitor all her registered attendees and track their requests and queries. Kate can also message the attendees right from the platform. The platform also provides a comprehensive attendee analysis. Additionally, with Zapek, Kate can integrate with social media platform and generate content with our AI integration and schedule and manage the post seamlessly. User comments and reactions are synced through our real-time data pipeline using Kafka Streams and NoSQL database. Further, Zapek is equipped with advanced analytical capabilities. We use machine learning algorithms and AI techniques to track all posts, comments and reactions, providing valuable insights to Kate. Zapek's standout feature is its post-event analytics, equipped with a suite of tools. Kate uses our mobile platform to capture attendee feedback with our AI-enabled voice analysis feature. The platform transcribes feedback in real time. Our data pipeline then applies NLP techniques for semantic analysis and sentiment detection, powered by Spark and Airflow. The analyzed data is represented as visualizations covering sentiments by attendees across events, exhibitor mentions, suggestions, recommendations, and much more. Further, we identify the questions and answers in the conversations and group them under relevant headers along with summaries. Zapek uses advanced computer vision models to effectively track attendee engagement during the event. The engagement metrics gathered are represented as heat maps on the event floor, identifying the most visited spots and the most engaging booths in each zone. Finally, with our unified dashboard, Kate can view information for all events, explore various insights, including the network map, and share the data with the exhibitors. Zapek is a tech marvel, built on the Mtme stack, powered by Spark and Airflow for advanced data processing, utilizing ML and AI, and deployed on AWS for seamless scalability and efficiency, ensuring unparalleled event management.
All right, let's start this round with Nikiro, please.
Thank you for the presentation. What is your major revenue stream and how do you plan to scale?
The major revenue stream is the subscription fee that we get from customers, and we are targeting, as I said, like the industries. Basically, it's a B2B business, so we are targeting industries that, as well as education institutions that plans events regularly. And I also right now working with some event planners and planners who are helping me to build my product. And to start with, I will channel this mostly on the event planners, then the education institutions. I'm also working with J. Herbert Smith Center to get their feedbacks to build the product. So yeah, this.
Mark?
Super impressed with the demo. Very well done. Was that all you, or?
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah. Wow. That's that's a lot of work. So you say your ICP is the event planner, mm-hmm. and the value creation there is time and a better event. Can you quantify that for the event planner? Like, is there, like, how much business has been done? Like, how would you what's the key KPI that that event planner is trying to move the needle on?
I mean, say by using my product, how is going to improvise there, right?
Yeah.
So firstly, like, See, we are trying to integrate everything into the platform here. So basically, it solves a problem. So if we take other existing product in the market, right, just for the digital media marketing alone, they have to buy a separate product. And whereas we are trying to bring in here. And also in terms of tracking the engagement right now, so mostly you collect the feedbacks in form-based or an app-based. People won't even try to enter their, it ends up, they won't even get the data, they won't be able to analyze it. Whereas we have a mechanism to collect on the spot as a voice recording. And on top of that, we also track the engagement with video, right? So that is very much useful for the event planners to see what went wrong during the event. Imagine if you have a 3 days event and if you are tracking real time and you see that this booth doesn't have an attention, in next half a day you can do the correction to see how to channel right customers to the exhibitor. And the event planners, by getting more attendees to their booth, they can project that they are doing well to get right people to the exhibitors. So it means that it will help them in the retention of all the next ongoing events, right? So they will get more exhibitors. So that's how it helps. And in terms of data sharing, right now, most of the people, they extract the data, do all the work, then they will not be able to share it. But what we are offering is like we can integrate directly, give some kind of API for them to push it to the exhibitors individually. So then it reduces a lot of hassle. So we try to handle, address all these. Yeah.
Thanks, Mark. Let's move it to Duckett first, and then Riel, please.
The demo was fantastic. I'm kind of curious what the feedback would be from the event attendees, the people with the booths. It seems like your customer is going to be the event planner, but the people that benefit the most are the people at the event. Have you talked to anybody in that segment that can validate that these are concerns that they have about going to events? And
I did spoke with few who attend the event, but was majorly focusing on talking with the event planners who planned the event. Actually, that was not my main focus, but limited with my circle, I checked with them. But my focus is not to sell the product to the attendees, right? So basically, event planner themselves, they know the problem. So that's what my focus area was. But I'll take this feedback. I will try to get more information on the attendee side as well, so that I can give, I can discuss with the event planners. Yeah.
But when the people that you did speak with, what was their feedback? Did they have any sentiments that they would appreciate an event with this? Did it seem to be something they cared about, or?
Oh, you mean the attendees? Yeah. To say. So one guy who used to attend events, like basically he said the feedbacks, right? So right now he was giving an example in the restaurants also, they started collecting through voice, and that was kind of easy for them to, rather than going and typing everything. So that's the feedback I received from him, and that's where like I thought this is a strong value from that side, because there was an example in a different industry. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Senkan. Riel, please.
Yeah. As somebody who has planned a lot of events, I'd love to have your, this would be great to, it's a fantasy land, because all the segments of the process that you indicate are complicated. And so I guess my primary question would really be about the quality of the data that you collect. In other words, there's the event preparation, very cool to see the ease with which somebody could define their agenda and set up there. But then how are you going to capture the hits out on, if you put it up on a website and then people are looking at it, are you going to use Google? Are you going to use LinkedIn? How does the event manager know who's looking at their site, even if they don't register, for instance? Can you collect that kind of data? Then once you're inside the event, I think there's the issues around how the different organization of the event, so even traffic flow, can be tracked. And I was interested that you decided not on something like RFID, but rather on heat maps. And the last question has to do with the follow-through, which is that if you're using voice, and I'm trying to understand what the purpose of the voice would be, the voice would provide you with a basis for follow-up because you'd know who said something that was actionable. But what about privacy? And what about the person walking through the event who's going to say, I don't want to be tracked and I don't want my voice to be recorded? So sorry to inundate you, but all these aspects interest me.
Okay, I'll address the last question first because the privacy is here, right? So basically, so when they attend the live event, obviously they know we will be tracking their name. That is unavoidable. But what we can offer in the platform is we do an online transcribing process, so we don't have to capture their voice if they opt out. If they opt in, we can do tone analysis to get the emotions, but if they opt out, we will just have the notes. So that's where we avoid the privacy concern here. But obviously, we will be tracking the person. That's what they're coming and attending the event. This is a business to business event. So that's one thing. And in terms of crowd analysis, you're talking about the RFID. Yeah, but it is there. There is one competitor who, I won't say competitor, but one event management platform who has NFC bands to do that. But the problem here is that it's not sustainable, or it's not like in robust, right? So if you every time they have to have a lot of sensors around the places, exactly, right? So for me, it's going to be a camera. It will have a dual purpose of security monitoring as well as tracking. And further, I'm not going to capture their faces. I'm going to get the overall feeds, right? So basically, where the traffic is going, where the people are going. So it also they can stay away. The privacy is not a concern here as well. And it's like, because of the dual purpose, I feel it's robust. Then, I mean, what's your first question, Sam?
Well, when you put your event up and then you're trying to do the front end, okay, how do you know who's interested in your event?
Actually, this gave me a bit right now. Right now, I'm not planning to do the website traffic thing. It's easy to do, but I haven't thought about that. But how we are doing is, like, once you publish the post in your Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever here, people pass comments or likes and shares. I can get their names. I cannot get their email addresses, but I can get their names, say, for example, Facebook. And from my account, I can publish the message to them, say, and if they have any questions, they can ask there itself. Okay. Another thing is that we can have a marketing email properly done based on, we can tailor make for each and every attendees, right? We cannot just like that send a broadcast message. So by these ways, we can help them. But yeah, website traffic management, yeah, we can do that as well. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. We don't have time for more questions, unfortunately. So thank you, Santosh.
Thank you.
So let's give the judges a couple of minutes. All right, so before we move on to the final three teams, let's take a 20-minute break. So we have some coffee, tea, water, also an opportunity to go to the washroom. I know I forgot to mention this before, but I think it's a nice spot to take that break, okay? So roughly 20 minutes, and we'll be back with the next team.
No, you're going to stay on.
And then I'm not going to hang around. Try to avoid Paris at the moment.
Yeah. That's your home?
That's where I am. Home is. Cool. Yeah. It's been a hassle already. Yeah. They closed all the bridges. It's been a bit of a nightmare. Parisians can't figure out why they bothered to do this. Oops.
When you call, they answer you. When you are in an emergency, you will answer. That's not That was when I started getting it. So it's real. It's so real.
When the video comes, and then when you speak, switch it on. There's no video, there's a pointer, right?
Do you need a laser pointer for the video?
No.
There's this one, but it doesn't look good on the screen. You can point it if you like. You can try using this. So this one goes forward, this one back. This is a laser.
background is green and this is green, so no point.
That was absolutely perfect timing. When you stopped, I looked at the sketch. I'm like, fantastic. Yeah. And then you went. Well, it all worked out. Yeah. No one even noticed it was a mistake.
Hello, hello. We are starting in about 2 minutes, so if you want to grab another coffee or water, we're about to call you back.
exactly replace it. I just started in May, so I'm just kind of trying to get my bearings a bit on the university. And I'm a computer science librarian, so I thought it would be fun to lab and see what it seems like to. So this is a great event, great experience.
So you guys give Katie a shirt on that's why
All right. If you could please get back to your seats. We are about to start the next round of presentations. Next up, we have Zotun. So if you can approach it. Quicker. And if you move up, you're going to turn them on. Right.
Good morning. My name is Andu, and then my co-founder Sen, and together we are Zotun, your home solutions just a tap away. So imagine you are a homeowner, and then your kitchen sink is leaking, or your heating system is not working. What do you do at that point of time? Who do you contact? Especially if you're new to the locality, what do you do? Even if you know who to contact, what about the response time? They will never give you an exact time of appointment. And what about the security? Will you have peace of mind? Because you do not know who's coming for repair and maintenance at your place, especially if you're all alone at home. So all these are common issues, and they highlight the pain points of most of the homeowners. And that's where we come in as Zotun, your solution. So as Zotun, we provide a very secure, convenient, and reliable digital platform that connects homeowners with the expert tradesperson. And when I say expert tradesperson, I mean someone who is licensed, experienced, who is within the locality, and whose background has been checked by us. And we also call them as Zotun-approved tradespeople. Now, in terms of the customers, we have two different customers. The first one includes the homeowners and the property managers. And our second customers include plumbers, electricians, carpenters, and HVAC tradespeople. And we can go beyond this based on our plan. So how does our system work? Like I said in the beginning, if your kitchen sink is leaking or your heating system is not working, you just get our app, post the problem as textual description or the image of the issue, and post it up on our app. And then what happens next is we use an AI-based matching and then match you with the expert tradesperson based on certain criteria. The expert tradesperson goes to your home, gives you a minimum of 2 quotes, and based on your approval, fixes the issue, and then the payment, everything is done online. And you also get to review and provide rating for the work that the person has carried out. Now, our value proposition is actually based on 4 points: fast service, convenience, your security, and then the cost effectiveness. And when it comes to revenue stream, the major chunk of our revenue comes from the commission that we take from the service charges. And the other one is emergency services. For example, if somebody has a breakdown during a snowstorm, we charge 1.5 times. And then for our partners like insurance companies and also for the material suppliers, they get to advertise themselves on our platform. And for the tradespeople, they get to promote themselves in our platform, and then we charge about $15 per month for that advertisement. So these are 4 main revenue streams that we have. We have also done a market analysis. The handyman market in the US is about $360 billion. But we are focusing in Canada, and then we are just looking at the Atlantic region for now, for which the SOM is about $100 million. We carried out the financial forecast for 5 years, and we break even by 2.5-year period. And our focus is actually Fredericton in the first 2 years, and then move on to Moncton, and then in the last 2 years to St. John. So that's where our focus is. So based on the number of our focal region and the number of services that we have, that's where our revenue will continue to grow.
So we are comparing ourselves with 2 different platforms, TaskRabbit and Thumbtack. We did the analysis and we found that we are focusing on solely on one major thing, which is housing industry. And we have 3 key points which we have a competitive advantage on as compared to the other platforms. So we focus on the housing industry, as I mentioned. We have the matching algorithm. Now, this is the AI-based matching algorithm. We have like a couple of algorithms to properly assess how big of a problem that you have in your house, and then who is the right technician to actually solve that particular problem, how complicated that is. And then we have the alternative tradesperson connection. So what if we match a tradesperson with you? What if you decline? So after you decline, we reassess the problem, and then we match you with another tradesperson right after that. We are a team of 2. So myself, I'm acting as a CTO of the company. I have like 5 years of experience in the full stack development and AI-based companies as well. And with me is Andrew, who has like 20 plus years of experience in the construction management. We are asking for $1 million Canadian. This is for the app development, which is the major chunk. Then we are asking for the marketing, which is again the 25% of the overall funding that we want, and then we have the salaries and wages. We are also asking for networking and mentorship to basically this will actually help us out in launching into the market as soon as possible. So if you have any problems at your home, just call Zoten. We are your home solutions, just a tap away. Thank you.
Welcome to Zoten, your go-to platform for connecting homeowners with expert tradespersons for all your repair and maintenance needs. Today, we'll walk you through how our Zoten and Zoten Provider apps work together to provide quick and reliable service. Our journey begins with Sonam, a homeowner who discovers a plumbing issue. Zoten is there to help. She opens the Zoten app to find a solution. With just a few taps, she selects plumbing from a list of service categories. She fills in the details about the issue with an option to attach pictures and a brief description. Next, Sonam chooses an available date slot for the repair at her convenience. Then she selects her location on the map. Finally, she submits the request to Zoten. Once she posts the problem, Zoten will begin searching for the right plumber who is near her location, and most importantly, can get the job done. Once Zoten has found the right plumber, Sonam will be able to view their profile. Ali Hassan, a skilled plumber, has been matched to her request. Sonam can view the reviews and portfolio pictures. After getting satisfied with the reviews, she then accepts the plumber. Meanwhile, Ali Hassan, the plumber, receives a notification about the new job. He opens the Zoten Provider app to review the job details. He sees the attached picture of the problem and other details. Ali also sees Sonam's location on the map with the route. He can also message Sonam with details like the time of arrival. Sonam sees the message from Ali and confirms the time in the chat. Ali arrives at the property ready to tackle the clogged sink. With swift expertise, he inspects the issue and presents 2 quotes to Sonam, who chooses the one that suits her best. With skillful hands, Ali resolves the problem. leaving Sonam delighted with his workmanship. After completing the repair, Ali efficiently generates a bill through Zotun. Sonam promptly reviews and pays the bill via the app, appreciating the seamless and stress-free process. Zotun is powered by Flutter and Dart for a sleek front end and uses Firebase, Python, and Node.js for a robust AI and cloud-based backend. Thanks to this advanced cloud infrastructure, Zotun is always up and running, ready to serve your needs 24/7. Just like Sonam, simplify your life with hassle-free home repair and maintenance. Use Zotun today for reliable service at your fingertips.
All right, thank you, Zotun. Let's start with Mark this round, please.
Great job, clearly explained, kind of simple problem to solve, but some complexity to it. The first thing that came to mind for me is how to attract tradespeople to your platform to kind of have enough coverage and critical mass. Have you given any thought to kind of how do you attract them, and when you would have achieved kind of critical mass to be able to offer the service?
That's one of our challenges actually, and that's why the $1 million funding that we are asking for, the major chunk of the money actually goes into marketing and customer acquisition. So customer acquisition that's where this is involved. So we need to have a very rigorous marketing and then let people know that there is something like this in the market, because this is, I think, in a way kind of new, and then it's going to change the entire environment. Destructive, if I may say. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, let's move to Duncan, please.
Once again, great presentation. I like the demo as well. Two things come to mind. When I think of the kind of case study that you presented around maybe a plumbing leak, time frame comes to mind pretty quickly. So how does the app take into account it's an emergency, it needs to be completed quickly, versus I want a quote within 2 to 3 weeks? Is there some way that you can have the more urgent needs met?
Yes, in fact, we have a three-way communication. The Zotun administrator, the customer, and the tradesperson can actually communicate live. So when the customer schedules the repair time or repair date, they can communicate directly with the tradesperson. So it's based on that. And in terms of the emergency, we'll have a backup service ready. We'll have a prioritized tradesperson who are already onboarded into our system, and then we can contact them anytime.
Is there a way to have it set up prior to contacting the tradesperson, so that if it's a project I need done this week and it connects me with somebody that can't do it until next month, can that be sorted out before I'm ever put in touch with the tradesperson?
Yes, definitely, because what we have is all these tradespeople, their background need to be checked, their licensing needs to be checked, and that's all done by Zotun. And therefore, whoever is in our database, everything is checked, and then the freelancers cannot do it unless their background is checked, unless their licensing, everything is verified. So they will be onboarded into our system, and they have their own app. So as you can see, we have two different types of app. One is the client, the other one is the provider app.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Rial, please.
Sure. Thanks. Yes, excellent presentation. Thank you. One of the really complicated aspects of the promise of the internet early in the. Can you hear me? Yeah. Early in the 1990s, during the dot-com boom, was the quality of data and the cost of collecting the good data about the different sides of the supply and demand. There's a kind of chicken and egg problem also, because you don't have sufficient data to begin with. You also don't have necessarily the evaluation. How do you evaluate a good tradesperson? How do you evaluate a good customer? One of the big promises of Uber was that you'd be able to evaluate and say, it's a good driver, it's a good client. Got kind of complicated. How do you tend to address those issues?
So we do have the rating system within the platform. So after a provider has basically solved a certain problem at your house, the client can actually rate the technician on the platform. That particular rating and the review will be recorded by us as the administrator, and then we'll see if the tradesperson, if that particular tradesperson has actually solved the problem in the first place. So we can communicate directly with the client, get their reviews directly from them, and this is how we assess how good of a tradesperson that is.
Sorry, would you break down the for instance, were they on time? So the timeliness issue, was the problem cost effective, et cetera, the solution for the problem cost effective? How would you get the user to evaluate? Because right now, there's the generally speaking, it's, want 5 stars or 3 stars or 2, and that doesn't tell you much actually. Yeah. So would you be looking for more detailed evaluation by both sides?
Yes, for sure. This is what our roadmap will be. So we will be acquiring data when it comes to, for example, time. If the technician basically arrived on time in the first place, and as you mentioned that if the problem has been solved correctly, so those kind of metrics will be recorded for sure. So yeah.
Thanks, Raul. Kiro?
Okay, great presentation. Do you have an alternative to people to call for seniors who wouldn't want to do an online transaction, to call someone to call and discuss terms? Okay, this is my problem, and is there a way you can track your commission, the actual amount through those call? Do you have an alternative on the platform for people like seniors to call and do their transaction?
Yeah, as we mentioned, our primary focus is actually digital platform, but then we'll also have the Zotin administrator, and that can be done as well, because we will need to have someone from the Zotin administration to be online every time.
Okay.
In order to respond to the needs of the tradespeople, who are our contractors actually, and also to the needs of the client, the homeowners or the property managers. So we do have that option.
All right, thank you.
We do have a couple more minutes, so I'm going to circle back to Mark and then Duncan if we have time.
Love the fact that you guys have multiple revenue streams. I guess this is the first piece of advice that I'll give. Starting in Fredericton, it doesn't feel like you'll have enough scale to get going, but it's probably an underserved market. Have you given any thought to other geographies, or what was your second one? Where were you going to go next, and maybe the sequencing of that?
Sure. So that's something that we have thought about, because that's a challenge. The market penetration is the biggest challenge. That's what we see. And then the best bet is to start from where you are comfortable. And that's why, even though Fredericton may not have a very big advantage, but then in terms of the ease in penetrating the market, I think Fredericton is best. And then go on. So if you have noticed, it's all within New Brunswick, because everything remains same. But if you look at the nature of the work that we are providing, the facilities or the service that we are providing, it's valid all across Canada, all across US, all across the globe. So our opportunity for expansion is huge. And therefore, our immediate, based on the progress, our immediate plan is to go all across Canada.
Yeah.
One of the things that comes to mind, let's say we're in Fredericton with this product, is the limited trades available. And why would I go back to the app if, for instance, I'm new to Fredericton, I had a plumbing issue, I had a great plumber, they worked really well. Next time, why wouldn't I just call the plumber? Why would I continue to use the app for future needs?
So that's where we want to penetrate, and that's where we want to create the distraction actually. Because right now, we have, in fact, talked to a real estate developer, real estate management company, and they are using an app just to schedule, and that company has only one tradesperson. And then they own about 220, or they look after 220 units across Fredericton and Moncton. And then that technician actually caters to all the problems. And therefore, sometimes it takes a week or even beyond to get this done. So when we talk to them, they said that if we can provide technicians or tradespeople, they are willing to only focus on their real estate business, and then this is going to be us. Now, in terms of the availability of tradespeople, again, that's going to be a challenge, of course, because right now, most of the tradespeople are already employed. So they work like 9 to 5 or 8 to 4. So that's where we want to come in and then advertise and say that this is an opportunity for you to come in and then generate extra revenue for yourself. Even the recent graduates from community colleges like NBCC, they do not know, they do not have an option like this. So if you go and approach them, I'm sure they'll take this.
All right, thank you. Unfortunately, we don't have more time for questions, so thank you, Zotun. Now let's give the judges a couple minutes to finish the rubrics. All right, I think we're all good here. So next up, we have forward. No, I just need to push it up to turn it on. Yeah.
Good everyone. I am Iliri Oluwa, and with me I have Safia and Oluwaseun, and we are forward. We fill our customers with the confidence they need to go about their daily activities without worrying about their pets. We all know how adorable pets are. We know how everyone wants to have one. However, no one really tells you about the struggles of owning a pet. No one tells you about the increased responsibility or the loss of spontaneity that comes with owning a pet. If you're a pet owner, you're familiar with these struggles. You're familiar with the anxiety that comes to you and your pet when you have to leave them behind. And you're not alone. 40% of pet owners have actually confirmed that their pets struggle with anxiety when they leave their pets behind. 37% have mentioned that they have had to take shorter vacations just because of their pets. I'll tell you this, 64% of Atlantic Canadians own pets, and 100% of them want freedom from these struggles. At Forward, we provide a platform that connects pet owners with trusted pet sitters within their vicinity. Through our platform, we enable convenient pet care for those of us that get stuck in one activity or the other and cannot provide adequate care for your pets. We also reduce the stress and anxiety that comes when you're planning that vacation. In addition to this, we don't stop there. We make sure that pet lovers around the world can earn a little bit extra by providing a platform for them to do what they love.
We cater our services to a diverse range of pet owners, from the working class to the traveling pet owners to pet owners with families who juggle multiple responsibilities. We understand the demands of a busy schedule, and they can rely on us to provide reliable care while they're away. And for our elderly pet owners who might struggle with keeping up with their pet needs while catering to their own health, they can trust us to provide tailored care. Not only do we provide for pets and their owners, we create job opportunities for students and animal lovers who'd love to come on board with us to take care of pets. The global market for the pet sitting industry is $4 billion. That is huge, and it is projected to grow at an annual rate of 11.5%. Our total addressable market is $1.6 billion, which makes up the market value for North America alone. Our serviceable available market is $204 million, which makes up the market value for Canada. And our serviceable obtainable market is $3.4 million, which is an estimated value, which makes up the market value of Atlantic Canada. In the competitive landscape, we differ in a few key areas than our competitors. First of which is the errand services to accommodate the immediate needs of our pet owners and for an added layer of convenience and comfort. We also have a in-app video check-in system that allows pet owners to visually connect with their pets and receive real-time updates. And finally, we have a membership premium that allows users to benefit from our platform.
Thank you. All right, for our basic financials, we earn revenue through commission on every pet-related activities on our platform. Also, we have categorized our customers using a tier-based approach. And on the slide up here is a breakdown of how we generate commission from our different customer segmentation. We have taken an approach so that the higher you charge on our platform, the higher commission we charge you. This is to further drive competitiveness even among our pet sitters and service errand agents. We have done a detailed analysis of our financials, and we are set to hit a break-even point in 2026. That's the mid of 2026. Our major operating cost revolves around IT infrastructure and our customer acquisition cost, while for our revenue is basically from subscriptions and also commissions on the platform. Our team is made up of 3 dynamic people. Our Safia is responsible for our daily operation activities. Hilary is responsible for technical decision, and I'm responsible for product innovation and strategic engagement. Together, we have a combined experience of over 15 years across different industries. Also behind the scene are a group of 3 amazing mentors who have been of tremendous help to us on this journey. On our roadmap, we recently achieved our key differentiators in April, where we implemented the things that differentiated us from our competitors. And in a few minutes, we'll be showing you the additional support features we have onboarded, such as our general enhancements to user experience on our platform. And over the next couple of months, we'll be working on our mobile platforms. Now, our ask today is for strategic advice on how best to scale our organization. Also, we need your connections to insurance companies, to financial institutions. And if you have a pet or you know somebody that have a pet, we'd like you to recommend forward to them. Finally, we're asking for a funding of $450,000 to have a runway for the next 12 months. We'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to be here this afternoon. Once again, we are forward. Your pet remains our priority.
Are you a busy pet owner struggling to find reliable pet care? Or someone who loves animals and wants to earn extra income? Do you want to go on a trip but can't because of your pet? Try Furward. Onboarding on the platform is straightforward. Simply select your profile type, add a profile picture, and provide specific details about yourself. During the onboarding process, you'll also create a pet profile. This allows our sitters to know important details about your pet, such as health, social behaviors, preferences, and specific care instructions, enabling them to provide premium care for your pets. Onboarded pet owners now have access to a variety of features. For long-term and planned services, we offer scheduled bookings. Pet owners can select a specific sitter for their pets. If the chosen sitter is unavailable, the request can be sent to the pool. While away, our pet owners can decide to check in on their pets by utilizing our in-app video call feature. This feature allows pet owners check in on their beloved pets. With Furward, you can now say yes and enjoy that spontaneous trip. For aging pet owners, or anyone who may struggle with certain needs of their pets, our errand service offers flexibility with requests and the negotiation of appointment prices. This service allows pet owners to specify the details of their requests and the amount they are willing to pay. Pet sitters in the area are notified of the request and can either accept the initial offer or propose a counteroffer. These offers are presented to the pet owner, who can then choose their preferred agent.
working-class pet lovers in need of an extra source of income, and students seeking a flexible part-time job can join Furward as pet sitters. Signing up as a pet sitter on Furward is easy. Simply create a profile and specify sitting preferences. After an internal background check and skill verification process, onboarding will be complete. Pet sitters can then accept appointments on the platform and get paid for doing what they love. The Furward system design is simple, utilizing a singular web application to create two distinct user types and interfaces for pet owners and pet sitters. The backend is written in Go and hosted on an AWS EC2 instance for flexibility, ease, and speed. The front end is written with React.js and hosted on Netlify for round-the-clock accessibility and compatibility with modern browsers. Our database utilizes Atlas MongoDB. With Furward, everyone wins. Pet owners receive reliable, affordable, and convenient care for their furry companions, while pet sitters enjoy a flexible way to earn income doing what they love. Join Furward today to experience a smarter and more convenient way to manage your pet care needs.
All right, let's start with Duncan, please, this round.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I like the demo. I could see some babysitting concerns met with this as well, but I like so one of the things that comes to mind, I'm a pet owner, so maybe it's a little anecdotal, but when you're deciding between the apps and a kennel is usually the care that the sitter puts into it, maybe the training that they have, knowing that any other animals are vaccinated in that area. So in your demo, you noted that you would verify the skill of the babysitter. And I'm just wondering what other requirements you would have of either the pet owner before they send a dog and the sitter when they take on a dog.
Okay, so for the onboarding process, we have four steps where we'll do a background check, police clearance, and a reference check. Moving forward, we'll do interviews to just know the pet sitter, and also a behavioral interview where we will ask them questions on how they will act in the case that a pet reacts or pet is allergic in different situational basis. And then we will have a mandatory training and pet first aid care. For that, we are thinking of partnering with Canine Health Canada, who are verified trainers, and then moving on, we can monitor the progress of the pet sitter who comes on board with us, and we can proceed from there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Duncan. Nikiro?
Okay. What kind of contract do you have with this pet sitters in a situation that someone goes to someone's home and they develop a personal relationship with that person and he gives them their number and they do their business aside your platform? So,
for this, we have taken a lot of research into consideration. And part of what we'll be doing is that there's going to be a randomization on our platform. That is to say, if you are contacting a pet sitter on our platform, their contact details wouldn't be available to you. All communication should be within the app. Then we also understand that when you go to the pet owner's house to sit, you can have engagements with them. So what we have done to guide against that is that the more you pet sit on our platform, the lower the commission will charge you. So that means that you'll be earning more by sitting with us, because if somebody's telling you to come sit with them, the other charges like tax and all of the other things, they might want to cut it off so that they will pay you more. But if they're already charging you lesser commission, then you'll be earning as much as even the owner will be paying you. And while you are sitting, we also provide insurance cover for you, which the pet owner would not provide individually. So those are the things we've taken to guide against this.
Thank you.
Thanks. Mark, please.
Love the branding and the whole team outfit. That's awesome. The comparison of pet sitting versus kennel services, like what would be the delta for a pet owner, like using your platform versus kind of the alternatives?
Okay, so a couple of things actually vary. So a kernel service, for example, would have some certain rules. Some kernel services would have you spay your pet before bringing them in. They may have restrictions in terms of like vaccination. It could be restricted in terms of behavioral the behavior of your pet. Then also, in addition to that, they also have like as a pet owner, there are certain things that happen to your pet when you take them into the kernels. One of which is behavioral changes. Like by mixing with other pets, your pet starts to exhibit behaviors that they may not have before. There's also the added comfort that your pet gets by being in your house, getting seated in your house with a familiar environment, right? So those are a couple of things that actually help us differ from the kernel services. Then there's also the fact that the kernel services are not exactly always available, right? Because sometimes they have limited space, but your house is always going to be your house, and we are just providing someone to come into your home and help you seat your pet. So,
but I'm just looking for the price point. Like, is it a 10x? Like, there are obviously benefits, but is it going to be 10x more for a weekend, or 2x, 1x?
Okay, so I'm just trying to move on to this slide. What we have done is that if you are going to be enjoying long time sitting with us, there's going to be like a discounted amount. So let's assume his pet sitter will regularly charge $25, but you are doing a night sitting, then his rate will come down to like maybe $20 per hour, or there's even going to be a run fee for a night sitting, which will save you a lot of cost.
Got it. Okay, thank you. And just a note that I think you guys have a COVID bump. Like this is a problem that's really starting to peak now. So good on you to find a problem that's growing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Mark. Riel?
Yeah. So scenario, somebody's got an important event and they want to go to it, and they've booked a sitter and they don't show up. What do you guys do?
All right, that's for the sitter themselves. So in that event, we have the same day service, which ensures that at every point in time, we have a pet sitter who can jump on the road and go to the pet owner's house. So as much as possible, we'll try to guide against that, but in the event that that should happen, we'll probably have somebody that can quickly send over to you, and then we'll also be able to recompense you for that, breaking or service rendered to you.
And just out of curiosity, in the costing that you would do, so to have that kind of reactive service, you'd need somebody 24/7 able to respond and able to find the solution. How isn't that expensive to put that together?
Okay, so just to add to what she said, we actually would be operating in a I would say a pool kind of service. And what happens is when a request is made, not just one sitter is alerted about it, right? If it's a scheduled one direct booking, a sitter is allowed to, an owner is allowed to either send it to our pool of pet sitters. So similar to how, I'll give an example like Uber operates. So we would be using that pool of service to, rather than just keeping them on for 24 hours, they would actually be other people also within your vicinity that would get those requests, and whoever takes it first, well.
We've probably all had the thing, 2 minutes, no, 6 minutes, no, 7 minutes, no, 8 minutes. And so, even when you have a pool, there's the question of how to manage it and how to be able to do, and I suspect almost all of us have said, well, Uber's taking too long, let's find something else. So having a way to be able to create a reactive pool and evaluate it and troubleshoot, that's probably something that's really a valuable service, but it's probably expensive to provide, no?
Thank you for that feedback. We'll probably do a lot more research and upgrade what we currently have in place for that.
All right, thanks, Riel. We have 1 minute left. Duncan, I'm going to go back to you if you have any additional questions. No? Anyone else?
Okay. Is it the more the animals, the more money you pay? Or I know someone that has 3 dogs, 2 cats. So how do you charge depending on the number?
Okay, so on that, what happens is the more the animals, the more you pay, yes. And in addition to that, there's a cap of 3. You can have more than 3 pets seated in your vicinity. For one animal, you get charged 1x per hour. For 2 animals, 1.8. For 3, 2.5. Yeah. So.
We also have space for negotiation from the pet sitter end. They can counter negotiate, and they can agree on a certain amount, and we can proceed to that as well.
All right. Thank you. Forward. Let's give the judges some time. Oh. All right. Last but not least, let's welcome Molly.
Awesome. So good morning, everyone. My name's Alex. This is my partner, Matt, and we're here today from Mully Swing Solutions. At Mully, we're helping golfers get a better grip on their swing. So I wanted to start off with a few images here. We have one of our own UNB Reds hockey players, rising tennis star, and most importantly for our case, a professional golfer. On the surface, these look like 3 very different sports, but they actually share one very common thing. And that's that all 3 of these sports require a piece of equipment that acts like an extension of the body to participate. Unfortunately, these extensions have no feel to them. And if you've played any of these sports before, you'll know that one of the first things you have to learn is how to properly hold that equipment. In golf, a proper grip frees up the rest of the body to perform naturally and is the foundation for a good swing. Now, the problem is there's no way for us to know if we're making the right connection to our equipment, especially once the club starts moving. It's impossible to know the difference between what we feel with our hands and what's really going on. So we need help keeping track of these habits. That's where our solution comes in. So this is our 2-part sensor-based training aid, which features a custom grip with embedded pressure sensors to measure the location and magnitude of grip strength throughout a swing, and then a small club attachment which sits at the end of the club with a display to offer the user vital feedback after each swing.
Now when we look at the competition already in the market, the first category is pictured on the left. This is a ground-based solution which utilizes both a high-speed camera and radar system to provide the most accurate, in-depth feedback to golfers who are willing to pay the price. The second on the right is a picture of a Blast Golf product from Blast Motion, which simply attaches to the end of your golf club and provides some simple, helpful swing feedback, typically through a companion app for golfers who want data during their rounds. How we differentiate ourselves from these 2 kinds of competitors is first our ability to track grip measurements, something that is new to golfers and something they haven't seen before. The second is the ability to provide on-club feedback, which cuts out the intermediate, potentially distracting step of having to check your phone after each and every shot while you're playing. As for the customer segments we've identified, there are 2 main ones. First, being amateur golfers like ourselves, people who just play golf as a hobby in their free time and are willing to invest in their game to improve. The second are coaches and teaching professionals. These are people who give lessons as their main job and have a client list and who have stressed to us the importance of teaching a proper grip and that being their biggest pain point in the process. As for the market analysis, based on a 2022 report from Business Research Insights, the total global sensor-based golf training aid market was estimated to be $519 million US. Of that, 193 was attributed to the North American market, And assuming a 5% market share, which we're targeting, that would leave us with an obtainable market of roughly 10 million, which we hope to capitalize on. As for generating revenue, we have proposed 3 channels. The first of which being direct online retail through our Shopify storefront, as well as partnering with some local golf professionals here in the Fredericton region to start beginning using their lessons. The second is a traditional retail market such as Golf Town and Dick's Sporting Goods, which is still popular in the sporting good industry as people still want to come in and see the gear themselves. And last is a reoccurring revenue source, which we plan on implementing, which gives historical trends and data to golfers and trainers who want to view their progression. As for our forecasting, this is our basic break-even analysis, which currently has us turning deficit into profit somewhere around the halfway point of the 4th year. The primary basis of this forecast was on a $320 price point, which we plan on selling our both grip bundle and on-club attachment at.
Now, obviously, Matt and I are the only 2 standing here today, but we actually make up only 1/2 of the Mtme founding team. We also have our partners, Ethan and Bryson. Together, we are 4 young engineers with a passion for sport and are excited to combine our technical backgrounds with that interest. Beyond our founding team, we've been fortunate to develop a strong network through our time in the J. Herbert Smith Center, including our startup team of David, Peter, and Dan, who have a wealth of experience in startup business planning and managing financials. We also have Barry and Cam, our industry experts, who are a pair of local teaching professionals who have been guiding our prototype development, ensuring we understand what our users want and need in a product. And that brings us to why we're here today, which is to ask for your network and your experience as we move into developing custom components and manufacturing so that we can move from the prototyping phase to a viable product. We're very excited about the journey ahead, and with your help, we hope to see you on the course next spring. Thank you.
The game of golf has a rich history, evolving from a pastime played on the coastlines of Scotland in the 15th century to the sport enjoyed by millions around the world today. Over the centuries, innovations have transformed every aspect of the game, from club design and ball construction to advanced tracking technologies that analyze every nuance of a golfer's swing. Modern golfers have access to an array of tools that monitor the movement of the club, the flight of the ball, and even the weight distribution of their feet. Despite these advancements, one crucial element of the swing has been overlooked: the grip. A proper grip is fundamental to a good swing, yet no current products focus specifically on this critical metric. We are Mtme Swing Solutions, and we are helping golfers get a better grip on their swings. Traditional methods for teaching grip in golf are largely qualitative, relying on subjective descriptions and personal interpretations. When a student tells their trainer that they are gripping the club with medium strength, the term medium can vary greatly between individuals. These subjective assessments make it challenging to achieve a consistent and effective grip. Our prototype features an array of 6 thin film pressure sensors designed to accurately record both the location and magnitude of grip strength. These sensors are strategically placed within the grip to capture pressure data from various parts of each hand. This allows both trainers and golfers to accurately measure and adjust grip strength, ensuring a consistent and optimal hold on the club for better performance. Our thin film pressure sensors are placed beneath a custom molded silicone grip. The sensors are connected to an Arduino Nano developer board, mounted on a custom printed circuit board to connect the Arduino to battery power and a button to initiate data collection. The Arduino transmits the sensor readings via Bluetooth to a laptop, where we've developed a simple graphic interface in Python. This interface visualizes the live readings from all 6 sensors, providing a clear and immediate representation of grip strength and pressure distribution. This data allows golfers and trainers to see exactly how grip pressure varies during the swing, enabling precise adjustments for optimal performance. By quantifying grip pressure in real time, our prototype moves beyond subjective descriptions, offering a powerful tool for achieving a consistent and effective grip. In the future, we plan to advance our design with a small club attachment to provide users with grip feedback directly on the club, removing the need for a laptop or mobile device. This device will also contain sensors to track the motion of the club, providing comprehensive swing analysis. We will also be working with custom sensors to allow for more flexibility in the size and placement of our sensor array. Elevate your game with our cutting-edge technology and transform your swing from the ground up. Thank you for watching, and we invite you to join us on the path to better golf.
Okay, let's move to Q&A. Let's start with Riel, please.
Thanks. Great presentation. Enjoyed that. Never having played golf, I have a question. How do you know what's a good grip? Don't body styles differ? Don't techniques differ? Don't, times of day differ? So what would be a good grip?
Yeah, certainly. So right now it's a very subjective process. So a lot of times, like when a trainer is working with a new client, one of the issues is they try to grip the club way too hard. You just lock onto it because you're afraid it's going to fly out of your hands, and it causes you to lock up the rest of your body. So they remind people to stay looser on the club. That being said, like you mentioned, people are all very different. So what a comfortable grip is for you might be different for Matt and myself. So our goal is really to not tell people what the perfect grip is, but give them a chance to collect data and become more consistent. That way we can point out the errors when you have a bad shot. We might be able to attribute it to a loose or stronger grip on a specific swing.
Thank you. Mark?
Love the name, guys. Good job on the presentation. Truth be told, one of my first angel investment was in a company called SmartSkin, and at the time they were targeting this exact problem. So good on you to have them as advisors, because you're going to get a ton of learnings there. Your ideal customer profile, you kind of mentioned, was maybe pro and amateur. It seems more like the trainers might be, like your advisory committee there had a couple of trainers. So yeah, is that a target market?
Yeah, so as we kind of mentioned in the slides, we see those trainers as both a potential customer, but also, especially when we're starting out, as a partner. So by working with Barry and Cam, we've been able to understand what they want in the product, and we're hoping that once we move to a more professional, more robust model than what we have now, we'll be able to get it into their hands so that they can work with their clients and then eventually start selling to other trainers to expand.
Thank you, please.
Okay, nice presentation. I'll be your first customer because I've been trying to golf lately and I suck at it. So, given your financial projection at breaking even at the 4th year, how would you convince investors to invest in your solution?
So this financial forecast right now is admittedly very preliminary. We haven't reached market yet. We're still very much in the prototyping phase. This is based off of a lot of assumptions that we've made in terms of the cost of production and our pricing model. Unfortunately, until we have more information, we won't be able to pinpoint an exact break-even date or the revenue sales. But as we develop, we'll be able to get a better idea and close that gap to become more accurate.
All right.
Yeah, and just to follow up on what Alex said, I'd say for the convincing investors part, I would argue that where we're focusing on golf right now, this technology could be applied to a lot of the other racket, bat, and stick sports that Alex mentioned at the start. So we're in maybe the 4th year. Maybe we're just still focusing on golf. There's also the vertical of going into separate sports and different revenue streams.
All right, thank you.
Duncan?
Great presentation, great demo. I'd be thrilled if my swing was anything like Cam's in that demo. I'm kind of interested in your competitors because you list what differentiates you, and it seemed like the main differentiator was the on-club feedback. And I'm just wondering, one, what kind of feedback have you gotten from the users where that would be a benefit? And the second one, to tie into the trainer discussion, is this tool useful without the trainers? Is Blast used primarily with trainers, or is this a product that the amateur is using on their own without the support of a trainer?
So when it comes to the two competitors that we mentioned, TrackMan is very expensive, so it's not something that most people have. It's more of like a trainer or somewhere like Par 94 would be using. Blast Golf, on the other hand, is a lot more affordable. We actually have bought one to test and understand what our competitors are doing. This is something that golfers can use on their own, but they must rely on the mobile application to get any feedback. So there's a lot of going back and forth between taking a swing, pulling out a phone, that sort of thing. We're trying to cut out this middle step. But honestly, our biggest differentiator right now is the grip measurements. Because even though there's other companies out there, measuring club analytics, ball flight patterns, even the pressure plates that measure feet, this is a really under-focused area that just is being looked into now. So we actually recently saw a study where it was a lab in Toronto that was really focusing on grip strength, and it validates the idea that this is something that golfers are just starting to look into now. We want to beat Blast Golf and these other companies to the punch.
That's a great answer. Thank you.
We do have time for probably almost another round, so I'm going to go back to Rial.
Yeah, I had a question on feedback, and you've mentioned it a couple of times. So it wouldn't be haptic feedback, like on the, no. So it's not, so the kind of feedback, I'm not quite sure what you mean by the real-time feedback.
So on the small club attachment, we plan to include a display where we can let the golfer choose either to give the most prominent feedback. So like I mentioned before, we want them to be consistent, right? So between the pressure sensors in the grip and then the sensors that are going to be in that attachment to track the motion of the club, we'd like to give them feedback on whichever of their metrics, whether it was their speed, their tempo, that sort of thing, whichever varied the most from whatever their normal swing is, essentially. And that would be visual on the end of the club.
A visual on the end. So that reminds me a little bit of Garmin. I do mountain biking and Garmin and all that. But one of the things that then also made me think was the revenue model. I buy with Garmin equipment, but I don't pay Garmin anything for their website or for their data collection.
Right.
So how have you thought through the revenue side of that?
Yeah, so essentially by buying the product, people will be able to get all the feedback directly on their device. That additional recurring revenue that we mentioned is something that we're still looking into now and gives us an opportunity to provide more historical data and further insights. And through the mobile platform, we could also offer things such as like video coaching and other add-ons like that to enhance the experience.
So you have an app in mind?
We do. We're just starting developing on it now. We're really focusing on this prototype at the moment, but it's something that we're planning for down the road.
Have you given any thought to integrating with TrackMan? Because that would be a bit of a grip feedback. Here's the result. And just given this grip, you're hitting this way. So it's just kind of another data point on that and big screen, kind of giving us a ton of data on, like you say, the ball path.
Yeah.
And all.
That actually wasn't something that we had thought about, but we were actually in Mactaquac last weekend for the PGA of America's tournament talking to people, and we had a few of our guests bring that up. So it is something that is on our radar now, and it's something we're going to be thinking about moving forward. Because it seems like a great way to integrate the new technology with an existing platform.
Yeah, good for you to be out there with users last weekend. That's good.
Thank you.
We do have 1 minute left, so any of you have final questions? All right, thank you. As usual, let's give the judges a couple minutes before we start our closing remarks. All right. So while we do the math on those rubrics there, I just want to share a few words before I call Dom here. But judges, thank you so much for joining us this morning and for giving us your time to be here and ask so many interesting questions to the students. I'm sure they appreciate it. You're helping them grow as well through this process. So thank you. Thank you so much. I also like to, I also would like to thank the WU Center crew, everyone here, kitchen staff, everyone, media services, taking some nice pictures for us. Aurora Productions in the back doing all the streaming and all that. So thank you so much for helping us put this together. Round of applause. Yeah. Everyone at the J. Herbert Smith Center, all the supporters, mentors, everyone that helped the students throughout this year, especially Amanda there, our new program coordinator at the center, helped us put this event together. So let's give her a round of applause as well. And congratulations to our students. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for being there. Thank you for putting all your time and effort into building these ideas and presenting this pitches for us. Thank you all the attendees for coming today as well. I'm sure that all the students are super happy to have you here. So now Dom would like to share some closing final remarks before we have a little surprise. Not sure if it's a natural surprise.
I was going to say that sounded rather ominous. This blows me away every year. You think about where we started in September, where you're even just trying to think about what ideas we're working on. And the fact that you can develop it to a point now, even the pitch, the video, the capability to be able to explain, to answer questions which aren't easy. But again, they're looking for clarification. They're looking for assistance to be able to help you develop and explain the work that you guys put in is just incredible. And I want to congratulate all of you for what you've put into it. It's remarkable. So congratulations to the students. I too wanted to thank everybody for being here. Judges, thank you so much just for digging deeper into what it is they're doing, allowing them to explain more of what's there that we didn't allow them to do in 5.5 minutes, right? I mean, we told them, no, you got 5.5 minutes, that's it. Igor's going to shut off your microphone, you're done. 3 minutes on the video, that's all you can do. But those questions help us dig in deeper and get those little bits that are sort of scratching at the back of your head. What if, what if, what if? We prepare them for those questions, always fingers crossed, hoping they're going to have the slide ready that they can pull up and go, oh yeah, no, on that analytics, here we go. And remarkably, it was there. And so I want to thank you all for digging into that side. So thank you very much for that. I also wanted to welcome, and I mentioned a few before, but we do have a lot of Mtme alumni in the crowd. So I'm just, Maisie is at the back, with Deji sat next to him, Kingsley, who had to leave, Kay Canyonsola is here, Amy, who has joined us, Atib, and Igor, who just ran away, and he's back. So for those of you who don't know, Igor actually also went through the program. He was in the COVID cohort with us and has been now a very integral part of the session. Also wanted to welcome the newest fellow that we have to the center who's joined us, and David Miles. Thank you he was... David is the cultural fellow in the J. Herbert Smith Center, and he came in and gave one of the most incredible lectures on how to write songs and how it is about creation and creativity and starting from a point and just walk through creating a song and it just, well, anyway. The response from the students afterwards was just mind-blowing. I did see the looks at the beginning where, like, you're sitting there in a technical engineering program and this 6-foot-something skinny guy comes in with a guitar case and they're kind of looking at me going, Dom, what did you do? But by the end of it, he drew this little triangle up on the board and he put in the middle, you can't start here. You have to start with the imagination. And the same thing goes with what we do with our startups. And putting that back into the feedback, and now Riel was in this week, and we started talking about futures and building on that creativity piece. It's remarkable how some of those things come full circle. So welcome, David. Thanks so much for everything you do. Break a leg in Paris. I hope you enjoy yourself as you head off to the Olympics to perform there. Have I filled enough time now? Yeah, okay. So, no. So every year for Mtme Next, we do have awards. We do give out prizes. We never tell the students because we don't want to make it about the prizes. This is a completion piece. So we ask judges to come and give marks, and it doesn't just go to your final mark in my class and Igor's class. This actually goes to a financial prize that goes for first and second place. So I am going to call Igor up with some small checks that he is going to be presenting for first and second place.
This is second.
Second? Okay. Do you want to do?
You can
we'll do this one first.
Do the announcement. I'll go there for the picture.
Okay. Well, he's prettier than me. That's what he meant. Based upon the rubrics that we had in second place, sharing a cash prize of $1,000, we have Mtme. And just as a reminder to everybody, and I'm going to look at the camera now, Sam, this is for you as well, so don't forget to get your portion of this check when you're back from the hospital. Congratulations, Mtme. And in first place with a cash prize of $1,500, we have Furward. That means you have to stand up, Safia, and not look at everybody. So congratulations to all teams. Maybe Duncan can sign this. It does say RBC up in the top corner. We just get you. Thanks, Duncan. Appreciate it. There we go. I'm not sure it will fit into the bank machine, but congratulations to all teams. Congratulations. And please stick around, have conversations with the students. And heads up at the back, we are about to have a light lunch, which is going to be served, so we can share in that. And congratulations to everybody. Thank you very much for everybody being here.